Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it. All right, one thing I was thinking, one of the recent episode we did on the new Squarespace AI
Yes.
tool? So that came to my attention because you got it in an email.
Yes.
And I think that was pretty good. At least it was timely.
Mm-hmm.
That got me thinking. I do occasionally get stuff in my inbox that I think, I should mention that on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it comes either from Google or it comes from other insider type SEO sources.
Uh-huh.
The problem is those little things usually are not enough to make an episode out of.
Right.
They're little bits of news.
Right.
However,
you could put a bunch of them together.
Yes, exactly.
Hey.
I have 3 or 4 of them gathered up in a little
folder,
in a little label or something inside my inbox.
Yes.
That things I could. I said, yeah, let's do an episode where it's sort of like a insider's inbox, an SEO insider's inbox.
Ooh, I like that.
Insider access to an SEO's inbox.
Dun, 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 dun. We need music for that.
Insider access to an SEO's inbox. That sounds like a root canal while you're having an enema on top of a colonoscopy. So like I said, I have 4 of these emails here.
Okay.
I have three, and let's call this the 4th one a bonus.
Okay.
But I have 3 things I had marked like, hey, that would be interesting. I should mention that. I feel like I should mention something like that on the podcast. The first one was from, and I'll go through them in order. I'll just spend a couple minutes on each.
Great.
The first one was directly from Google. It was about the Google Business Profile platform, and it was titled Keep Your Business Profile Trustworthy and Reliable. And it talks about, hey, you got to keep your information up to date. You have to welcome all feedback, not just the good ones, and you need to avoid violating our policies here.
Fair enough.
All those things. And yeah, okay. I mean, if you have a business profile, chances are good you got one of these emails.
Right.
But it links to some prohibited content. Good information to have. To be fair, not that exciting.
Oh, that's it?
Yet.
Okay, good.
Not that exciting yet.
Oh.
Okay. The next one I received, another email from Google, and it says, meet the new AI mode. So AI now has, and do you know this? Have you seen this?
I don't, maybe.
So Google has had for a while now, if you do a search in Google, it has what used to be where the featured snippets used to be. There's now there's a response generated by
a paragraph.
And I have found it quite helpful.
Yeah.
Most of the time when I'm doing a search, I just read that. And then if I want to know something else, I then drill down to one of the sources that they provide. And I don't even look at the list of websites that traditionally is what SEO has all been about. Well, it's still, no, this SEO is just going to be about the AI generated result.
Right.
So it's a change in the industry.
Everything's going to change.
This AI mode is in an experimental phase. It's like a beta phase. So it won't be available to everyone, but it looks to me like it is available to anyone with a free Gmail account. So if you have free, I'm sure you can use it. If you have a Gmail account behind your business domain, like you and I have.
Yeah.
So you have an email, I have an email, but technically it's powered by the Gmail suite, the Gmail workplace.
It's sweet.
It is sweet. It is not available to those accounts.
Okay.
Because those are paid accounts. Google wants to put this through experiment. It wants to test it.
It wants to protect those.
Test it.
That's nice.
Yeah. It wants to make sure that the people who are paying are getting quality stuff.
Right.
Google is really well known for this. They even do this. They are such a big company that they do what they call dog fooding. What they do is they release no, it's not. If they release a new phone, for example, they will first give the phone to all of their employees and get feedback and then make improvements.
Right.
And they call that, I don't know why they call it dog fooding, but they feed it to their internal organization first before they give it to people who are paying for it. So that's kind of one of their approaches.
Okay.
So this has probably gone through their internal team, gotten approval there. Now it's rolling out to free accounts. If you have a free account, just like an email address that ends in at Gmail, you should have access to this. If you just go to Google without logging in at all, I actually don't know if you would have access to this. But if you go to Google and do a search, you know how at the top there are tabs that says like all results, images, videos, news, maps. So
yes, I do.
Right there, the first one is going to be AI mode. If you click on that, you're going to go to something that looks very much like the Chat GPT interface.
Interesting.
Yes. And this reminds me of something that I said. I said, Google's going to adapt. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Whatever GPT, yes, they do have a head start. They are really good. They are better than Google right now, but Google's going to adapt.
Right.
So this, to me, just the way it looks visually, they are adapting.
And that's Gemini?
It is. I don't know if this is Gemini. I mean, it probably is built on the same framework that Gemini was, but they're calling it AI mode.
Oh.
Okay. Google is terrible with names. They always change their names. They change their names way too often for my liking anyway. But,
Dear Google.
So if you want to try that out, and I have tried it out a little bit, seems fine. It seems kind of just like ChatGPT, seems like a natural extension of what they're already doing. I got to say, I wasn't that impressed with the results. Like, okay, they still have a ways to go. I feel personally.
Has to start somewhere.
Okay. That
was the first one.
That was the second.
Whoa,
email.
we got 2 in there.
Yeah, remember the reminder from Google Business Profiles. Okay, the next one didn't come from Google. It came from, it looks like it came from Search Engine Land. Actually, I don't even know how I got this email. I don't know why I'm receiving this. But I got it, and it is a forum, looks like, on Search Engine Land.
Forum or form?
Forum. People are discussing, chatting about a topic called YouTube channel versus website. Which is the better path to earning money?
YouTube or website?
So building a YouTube channel,
right,
or building a website. Which one is going to be more profitable in 2020, like now and moving forward? Oh. So this got me thinking. Yeah. Is this a discussion that you feel people are having? Not currently?
Me. But
not you,
that
right?
I live in a hole.
I know this has been an issue in the past, and I thought the discussion was kind of settled. But when I saw this and I read the comments, it seems like it's not. So the question is, do you build your content on YouTube or on your blog? Basically, that's kind of at the heart of this question.
But how could it be monetized if it's on your website as a blog?
Well, that's if you sell something, if you are selling a product, I think that I won't say most, but I certainly think that a lot of monetized channels on YouTube are also selling something, right? There is something you really want to consider here. I'm not going to say it's a problem and tell you which one you should do, or social media or your blog. But one thing that you really have to understand, and I thought this was kind of taken as fact now, but evidently it's not from looking at these comments. When you create your content on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok, and you build up your empire there, that's somebody else's website.
Right. And that could be taken away from you at any moment.
It could easily, and often is. I don't know how many times I've heard stories about people who had a robust Facebook business page, and all of a sudden it was deactivated or somehow, or they just went from like getting, say, 10,000 impressions per month to like 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so this reminds me of the saying, don't build your house on rented ground.
Yes.
Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
So you got to understand, if you are building
borrowed ground.
Yes, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
If you are building content and you're relying on the social media channel, that's great. I mean, obviously there are millions upon millions and millions of eyeballs on social media. Indeed. It's a great place to get eyeballs. Yeah. But if you're not pulling people off of those platforms onto your own, you don't have direct access to those people, right? And like you said, you could lose it at any time. Moment. This, to me, is one of the most brilliant things about social media from the perspective of the people who created it. Yes. So content like this, it's a general kind of rule of thumb. It's not easy to create content, right? But to be successful online, you kind of need to create content. Yeah. So the genius part about social media is they figured out a way for other people to create their content. Yeah. Zuckerberg doesn't create any content. He doesn't have content teams. It's you. Guess what?
What?
We have a sponsor.
We do?
Guess who it is? You'll never guess. It's Hungry Root.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
You asked them?
Yes.
Like I said you should?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. They gave me a discount code that I can pass on. Yes. So Hungry Root, if you haven't heard us talk about Hungry Root in the other
this is so
episode,
exciting.
it's kind of like Blue Apron, but we use it for one reason, because it has tons of options for vegans, vegetarians, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as you said, it has really changed our lives.
It actually has.
It really has. Like, I don't want to oversell it, but it has literally changed. It's amazing. The discount they said I could give out is $50 off your first order of $100. So if you want to try it for a week, order $100 of food and get 50 off. So you get $100 worth of food for $50.
Half off.
Yeah.
That's literally half off.
Yeah, that's half off.
That's so cool.
Me,
right,
who are creating content.
Once you put it on their platform, they own it and they can use it however they want.
I think legally that is true.
That is. So whatever you put on there, they can then take and use anywhere in the world.
However they want.
However they want. Your voice, your image, your words.
So the problem with that, I mean, is twofold. You're creating content to help make somebody else money.
Right.
And yes, if your YouTube channel is monetized, you're getting a sliver of that money.
Yeah.
You know, who knows how much they're making.
Yeah.
The other thing, it could be taken away at any point. And at that point, you have no, like, let's say you have a really great YouTube channel. It's getting lots of views.
Yes,
you have like, say you have 1 million subscribers.
Oh, my God.
If all of a sudden your YouTube channel is shut down or demonetized or something for some reason, which happens often, all of a sudden you can't just email, you can't send a text to those 1 million subscribers.
Right.
Okay. If you build a list off your site, it'll probably be smaller, but it's your list.
Right.
Like, you have that content
and control.
Yeah. Like I was listening to a talk one time, and I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about this, and they said, does anybody remember Arsenio Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we remember Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall had a very, very, very popular show.
Yeah. Arsenio.
And it was before social media.
Right.
Okay. So it was in the days, if you're old enough to remember, when TV shows they're just on the TV.
What?
Okay.
And only when they say it's going to be, and you have to get a book to know when that is?
They didn't have a podcast. They didn't have a website. They didn't have anything.
What did people do with their time?
I don't know. And one day, I believe Arsenio was on Fox. Fox canceled his show. Right. Now he had, oh man, I have no idea how many viewers.
How many lists? He had so many lists.
I was going to say listeners.
Oh.
But he had viewers, like probably tens of millions of viewers. Now, once his show was taken off the air, what happened to Arsenio Hall?
Right.
Like, we saw him occasionally on movies. Yeah. But somebody talked about this because he was on an episode of a TV show, which I won't describe.
Okay.
But he was trying to call people who would be influencers in the entertainment industry. Yeah. And nobody would take his call.
Wait, is this for real?
Yeah, this is for real. And this is years later. Like, he was calling all these people, and it was part of this reality TV show, and nobody would take his call. And this is an example, like, yes, it's from 20 plus years ago.
And who knows what kind of a person he is.
But he didn't have his list. He didn't own his list. Right. He was building his, and there was no other options, not his fault. Yeah. But he had a TV show on somebody else's network. Right. And that network decided, no, we don't like your TV show. And then he was done. So there is the danger of that. If you are building content for Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or wherever, realize that is a potential danger.
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever you're doing, try, and this is not easy, but try to brainstorm how you can start to own your list more than be borrowing it from Zuckerberg or whoever's going to buy it.
Now, dangerous is a big word, but it's...
Okay. Well, I said potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a potential downside.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of business is just evaluating potential downside and minimizing your risk. Right. So you want to minimize your risk.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you loud and clear.
All I'm saying. Okay.
All I'm saying.
Back to the SEO's inbox.
Yes.
Email number 4.
Yes.
Remember, the first email was about following the Google Business Profile policies.
And this one is the bonus.
Yeah, this is the bonus. So this email, the subject line is Meredith's husband.
Yes.
Me. That's
me.
You. Your profile has been disabled.
Really?
Yes, really.
Oh, it's not a spam?
No, it's really been suspended. This is the second time this has happened to me. Here's an example of Google has decided to suspend my profile, so it's no longer getting views.
What?
Yeah, a prime example. Now, I don't know. The email says your business profile has been removed by Google. Learn more about our restriction policy. To appeal this decision, click appeal below. Now, Google, frustratingly, never gives a reason why your profile is suspended like this. Like I said, this is the second time. Yeah, it's shitty. I know.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Now, my profile was suspended the first time because the name business Meredith's husband doesn't sound like a business.
It's wonderful.
Right? And I actually have a business license with the name of the company being Meredith's husband. I had to send it to Google to prove to them that it was actually a business. That might be the same problem here. I literally just got this email yesterday.
Wow. So
I don't know. So one thing I will do is as I go through the appeal process, which I know is frustrating, but I don't have any other options. Right. I have to do it. And this is a service that, Google is providing for free. Right. I'm not paying to have my business profile listed. I'm not paying for Google to show my information to anybody. So this is a necessary evil, I guess. Not necessary. It's not necessary. It's just, it's common, I know. So I got to deal with it.
And it shows that they're actually doing their job and trying to make sure everything's verified.
Yeah. And I will say, I would rather they be, let's say,
stringent?
over diligent.
Yes.
And occasionally deactivate something that shouldn't be, rather than the opposite.
Yes, I agree.
Because then the general results in Google would probably be kind of shitty. So I need to go through this process. I'm going to kind of document it as I go. And I'm going to measure how much time it takes.
Oh, very good.
Because in the past, I've had students where this takes like 3 months. In my case, it took about a month. The whole appeal process over the last few years that they offer has gotten much better.
Okay.
It's gotten way better.
That's good.
Like a few years ago, like the first time my business was suspended, I did not get an email.
Oh.
They don't notify you. Oh. They don't give you a chance to appeal. There is no appeal process. They don't provide a link. It took me a good hour just to figure out what my next step was and to figure out where to go to do that. So the appeal process is easier, and I will document it, and we'll probably do an episode in the future about what happens.
That sounds good.
I hope I get it back.
I do too.
Students say, they freak out about this, and I say, don't worry. I have never seen a situation where a legitimate business didn't get their profile back. And now I'm freaking out. Freaking the fuck
and
out.
Now you understand why they're all,
yes.
Yeah, you can understand.
I do understand. I try to ease their mind, but I certainly understand. And here I am again.
I have one thing that you can delete. So I've noticed that in my junk mail, there are so many people telling me about SEO and offering SEO services.
Yeah.
Do you ever?
Garbage. So do I.
Of course.
I have in my spam. I'm literally, and every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reply to this person, and I give them my name, and eventually the conversation comes up. Well, what is your business about? And I say SEO, and it's silence. Right. I've done that on the phone too. Like I've gotten those calls. Somebody called me and they said, "Yeah, we're a data provider for Google, and we have a vacancy at the top of the listings for your industry." And I was like, no fucking way. I am so lucky. Like, I'm going to call this guy back. I called him back, and we're talking to him, and he's like, yeah, so, yeah. What's your business? I said, SEO, click, hang up. Yeah. Those are scams.
I know they are.
Yeah.
I know they are. But there's I'm always, when I go through my junk box, I'm amazed at how many there are.
There's a ton. Well, it's practically free to send those emails.
And as they say in White Lotus, it's a number game.
You got to play the numbers.
Got to play the numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, yes, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.